The Chicago White Sox beat the Detroit Tigers on Sunday afternoon 5-3 and swept the series. The White Sox are 3 games over 500 for the first time since mid-April. A.J. Pollock and Andrew Vaughn had a big series, and the Sox got some outstanding pitching performances from not only the starters but also the bullpen. Are the Sox back? Can we get excited about this team again? Well, this week is a huge week for the Sox as they welcome the Houston Astros to the South Side.
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Locked On White Sox. Hey, I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong diehard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Really appreciate you letting me steal some of your time to talk White Sox. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Lance Lynn went 6 innings and did not give up a home run. That's a recipe for success. The Sox didn't score a ton of runs, but they came at critical moments and were provided by some key players. But first, the 19-game stretch of sub-500 opponents is over. I'm going to tell you why this is a very important week. Our Chicago White Sox are 59-56, 2.5 games back in the AL Central, chasing the Cleveland Guardians. There are 47 games left in the season. White Sox beat the Tigers on Sunday 5-3, first time since April 17th that the White Sox are 3 games over 500. That was the 9th game of the season. It was a series against the Tampa Bay Rays here on the South Side. White Sox sweep the last place Tigers. Sox did what they were supposed to do to a bad team. I know it was the Detroit Tigers, but still, we've seen in moments recently when we went to Kansas City just last week, it doesn't always go the way it should go. Sox took care of business, not just win the series, but win all 3 games. This 19-game stretch that we've been talking about for a while now, and you probably have been following and paying attention. This was part of that. The Sox have an easy schedule after the All-Star break. Well, the 19-game stretch schedule of the Sox playing sub-500 teams, that's over. Sox went 11-8 during that 19-game stretch. So they went 3 games over 500, which is exactly where their record is right now. It starts to get a little bit more challenging tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more of that Houston series later in this episode, and then looking a little bit further down the line, a big weekend series at Cleveland coming up starting on Friday. Let's talk about this Detroit series, though. A lot to get to, a lot of exciting stuff, not only from the team, but also some individuals. Let's go all the way back to Friday. Game 1 of the series, Sox won 2-0. That was the big Michael Kopech game, right? Sox offense, 2 runs, 8 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts, only 1 extra base hit, and that was A.J. Pollock. He had a double. You're going to hear his name quite a bit during this episode. White Sox with runners in scoring position, 1 for 8. They left 10 men on base. It was 0-0 for a while in the game. Unfortunately, it just felt like here we go again, another wasted opportunity from a stellar pitching performance. Further in that game, Luis Robert, we lost him due to a jammed wrist, trying to steal second base, went head first as he's known to do. And he's got that sliding glove on his right hand, but it was his left hand that got jammed. He banged his wrist into a scope for Detroit. The second baseman was like blocking the bag with his leg. You can debate that one. I wonder sometimes, like, the rules at home, catcher can't be blocking, home plate, yet second baseman could be blocking with his leg in that situation. It did not look good. Thankfully, x-rays were negative. He did not play Saturday or Sunday. We need him in this Houston series. I am hoping to see him in the lineup tonight, that he is well rested, but again, didn't look good. Kopech, on the other hand, looked outstanding. Michael Kopech went 6 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, and threw 85 pitches. So he was well debated by fans everywhere. Steve Stone talking about it. Tony La Russa defending the decision in the post game. A lot of folks this weekend weighing in and discussing it on social media. Why didn't Michael Kopech pitch longer? Why did he not come out for the 7th? I am somebody that watching that game, watching his pitch count, I had a really good feeling. You know what? He can't. He's got it all tonight. It's unfortunate. He's locked in. He's just not going to be able to go the distance at his pitch count right now. Now, coming out of the game with 85, and you've already thrown 100 pitches this year, I thought for sure he would come out for the 7th. He thought he had something left in the tank. Listening to his post-game comments, even seeing him leaving the field, he kind of had that one finger up, motioning to La Russa or maybe even Katz, like, I think I've got one more. Since he wasn't going to go 9, that seemed to be the reasoning. Since Kopech wasn't going to go 9, we decided to shut him down after 6. I don't know if I subscribe to that. And who am I to second guess La Russa or Steve Stone? But just based on what we know with Kopech, and, hearing from Katz several weeks ago in an article where there isn't an innings limit on Michael Kopech, Ethan Katz said, we're going to listen to Kopech. Kopech will tell us by how his body feels, how he should be pitching and what he looks like, frankly. And he looked outstanding on Friday. It was a 0-0 game. Sox don't have an off day until August 29th. And you can look at that in several different ways. But I looked at it as, we need rested bullpen. And if we can get one more inning out of Kopech, it's 0-0. Maybe the offense can kick it in and scratch a run, and then we'll go to our bullpen. I don't know. I thought that was the way to go, especially since he was only at 85. Put him out there for the 7th, see what happens. Make sure you get the bullpen up and ready to go. If he feels good and if he feels like he can continue to pitch at the level he was pitching. Now, the other issue was La Russa talking about, well, he could blow out his arm, if we send him out there for the 7th, trying to overdo it. I mean, that's a conversation that Ethan Katz should be having with Kopech, throughout the season, of how to stay, within yourself and how not to try to be max effort and opportunities, that you can't, for sake of your body, control yourself. He's got to learn that, right? Kopech has got to learn how to pitch under control. I don't know if that was a teaching moment opportunity. I get it. He's not going to finish the game, but I thought at least the 7th inning, he had it in him. Either way, it was an outstanding performance from Michael Kopech, something to build on there. He was marvelous. Sox won that game, of course, 2-0, a close one, a nail biter. Saturday, another close game. Sox won 6-4 against Detroit. Sox offense, 6 runs, 14 hits, a walk, 7 strikeouts, 2 extra base hits, and 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left 9 on. A moment in the 7th is really where you need to go with this. Yasmani Grandal had a bat drop fly ball to center field in the 7th. Obviously, Yaz thought it was gone. Warning track power. Abreu was on first, though. And mind you, he legged out a single, an infield single, and he kind of grabbed his hamstring. So I didn't even know if Abreu was going to stay in the game at that point. But Abreu was able to tag up from first, got to second base on that sac fly from Yaz. It was a contested play. Baez thought, of course, he tagged Abreu out. Abreu was ruled safe. And then the next hitter up, we got Andrew Vaughn, comes up clutch with a single up the middle. Abreu obviously doesn't score if he doesn't get to second on that sac fly. And Andrew Vaughn's hit broke up a 4-4 tie. Then a huge A.J. Pollock solo home run. I told you we'd hear his name again in the 8th. Exciting, some dramatics late in the game for the Sox. Giolito, 7 innings pitched on Saturday, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts. His ERA sits now at 4.92. He threw 92 pitches. Giolito didn't get a call early in the game. It was a strike, but it was called a ball, which turned into a walk, and a big inning for Detroit. Eloy Jimenez misplayed a ball out in left field. I have no idea, nor will I ever have an idea of what he was doing out in left field there. Giolito very frustrated with some of those events, talked about it in the post game, admitted he was angry and mad, but was able to find a way to maintain his composure. I think that's the big takeaway from that outing. He was able to manage his away from whatever was happening behind him and the blown call, compose himself, and he pitched. He gave you 7 innings, which was great. Lopez came in the 8th, Hendriks in the 9th. Lopez has been another just outstanding guy to watch, hitting 99 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour to end the inning on a strikeout in his last 12 appearances. Lopez, 11 1/3 innings pitched, 0.79 ERA, 15 strikeouts and 0 walks. Hendriks, electric with his 25th save on Saturday. A.J. Pollock and Andrew Vaughn are heating up at the right time. I'm going to tell you why. It's not necessarily what you hit, but when you hit it, that matters. More on that in a moment. As you gear up for fall, you need the right people on your team to help your small business fire on all cylinders. LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easier for you to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can find you the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonMLB. That's linkedin.com/lockedonMLB to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Okay, Sunday, the series finale. Sox beat the Tigers 5-3. Coming into the game, Sox offense ranked 25th in all of baseball in home runs, but they got some key long balls in this one. 3rd inning, A.J. Pollock once again comes up big with a home run to lead off the inning, solo home run to get the Sox on the board. 2-1 Detroit at this point. After 3 innings, only 1 run, 3 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout. 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position, and they've left 4 men on. Huge home run, though, by A.J. Pollock to get things going. 5th inning, A.J. Pollock once again, there's that name again, with a lead-off double as he shot the gap in right field, hitting lefties very well lately. Moncada with a pop fly to right field, nothing doing there. But then Eloy Jimenez picks him up with a big-time RBI double down the left field line, his second hit of the day. 2-2 at that point. Just 1 out for Abreu. He singles to short left field. Runners on the corners. Abreu coaching for first base. If you're watching this game, maybe you picked up on this. Abreu kind of shouting across the diamond to Jimenez on what to be looking for if in case there's a sac fly, just being ready. Andrew Vaughn, though, hit a ground ball to shortstop, and Detroit couldn't convert the double play. First baseman couldn't hold on to it. Eloy scores. It's 3-2 White Sox. Then the 8th inning really needed an insurance run. And Andrew Vaughn delivered. Solo home run to left center. What a series for Andrew Vaughn. Sox did not quit as they took advantage of a misplay in left field on a Zavala double. Harrison scored from first base. Another huge insurance run. Sox went up 5-2 at that time. Sox offense, 5 runs, 10 hits, 4 doubles, 6 strikeouts, 5 extra base hits, 2 big insurance runs in the 8th inning with runners in scoring position. 2 for 8 on Sunday. They left 9 guys on. I thought it was really critical where they were scoring those runs and what they were hitting when they were hitting it late in the game when they needed it. That to me was a great sign. Andrew Vaughn in the series, 5 for 12, 1 home run, 5 RBIs. A.J. Pollock in the series, 5 for 11, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Lance Lynn was on the hill Sunday. 3rd inning, he got into his first real jam of the game. Detroit had runners on the corners with only 1 out. Lenyn Sosa with some sloppy defense. Then a pitch from Lynn gets away from Zavala. Detroit scores on that. Baez comes up with a runner on second and 2 outs. Obviously, the Boo Bird's out for him. He reaches out and hits a low outside pitch into the right field gap. Ends up getting to second somehow. Another Detroit run comes in, and Baez find the need. He removes his helmet after his double and puts his finger to his mouth to quiet the crowd. He is so easily disliked, and he feeds off of it. But it's almost tough not to boo him because of him enjoying wearing the black hat so much. It was 2-0 Detroit at that point. Lynn, after 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts, 46 pitches. In the 5th, Lynn at 57 pitches at the start of the inning. Detroit got their leadoff hitter on, but some solid defense by Moncada to start a double play. Moncada refuses to let his offensive woes be brought out to the field. He has thrown some leather lately. Difficult to move him away from third. I know that was a conversation being had earlier in the year when Jake Berger was hot. Lynn's final line, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 0 walks, 7 strikeouts, and the big one, 0 home runs given up. Lynn's got his ERA at 5.62 through 88 pitches. Lambert comes in the 7th. Great inning of work there. Ended with a big strikeout, fist pump, tons of emotion. 8th inning, Lambert comes back out, starts things with a strikeout. He faced 4 hitters, struck out all 4 in his outing on Sunday. Lambert gave way to Justin Diekman, allowed a hit, but got 2 huge strikeouts to keep it a 1-run lead for the Sox. And then in the 9th inning, Hendriks pitched Friday and Saturday, so it was Graveman in the 9th, gave up a solo home run, but nothing else. Very nice series for the White Sox. Battled, came from behind, and got some critical hits late in the game with some solid bullpen help. White Sox will play host to one of the best teams in baseball. I'm going to tell you why you should feel confident with Johnny Cueto on the mound. More on that in a moment. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your betting needs. Find all your favorite sports and events at the #1 online source for odds, lines, and games. Find reviews and news of every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts. They have you covered. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts. The Houston Astros are in town for a 4-game series. They will be without Michael Brantley. We are without Tim Anderson. Hopefully, Luis Robert will be back in the lineup for this series. Robert is an absolute difference maker. Maybe start sliding in feet first. I don't know, but we got to keep him in this lineup with 47 critical games to go. On Monday, you got Houston. They're 74-41, 12 games up in the AL West, taking on our White Sox. Sox played the Astros back in mid-June. It was a 3-game series. Sox won the second game, that middle game, that it was Saturday night, beating Verlander, which was, you think back now, how did the Sox beat Verlander? And they chased him after 3 2/3 of an inning. Sox put up 7 runs, 9 hits on Justin Verlander, and we'll most likely be talking about him more Tuesday. In that one victory down in Houston, Johnny Cueto was actually on the hill for the Sox. His line, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Cueto is scheduled to go tonight for the Sox. Johnny's last start was his 13th quality start. He's got 8 quality starts in a row, and it prompted the question of if the Sox have any fire left. That was the big comment. Remember, we talked about it just last week and how La Russa responded. Andrew Vaughn has since recently talked about it after the series sweep, that the Sox, it's a different story now. After this series, the Sox have still got some fire. It's a big series because the Sox will test their mettle against one of the league's best, but also the White Sox need to stay close to Cleveland in the standings. Cleveland is playing Detroit. White Sox will travel to Cleveland to face the Guardians this weekend. There are only 6 more games against Cleveland on the schedule. First things first, though, Sox, Houston, Johnny Cueto on the hill should be a well-attended, exciting series on the South Side. Thanks for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast absolutely everywhere you find your podcasts. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, and unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Follow the #1 daily league-wide podcast, Locked On MLB, on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, coming up on the next episode, I will recap the Johnny Cueto outing and hopefully be celebrating a White Sox winner. Appreciate you making time for the Locked On White Sox podcast. I'm Nick Morawski, and until next time, go Sox.